Hey, welcome back, everyone. Jux, episode 6 coming at ya. Boys are down bad on the pod. Rough week of football for us. We'll get into it. Baseball postseason's beginning. Been exciting so far, but a rough day for your boy. Braves took a tough L. Again, we'll jump into that later as well. We got hockey coming up next week. This week, Friday, for the Red Wings at least. So look for Hammy to be featured in the future. And he's our inside hockey analyst. And we'll get him on the pod and get his insights on the season. So a lot to start off with, but first we'll jump into what was unfortunately a brutal Thursday night football. Third primetime performance for the Denver Broncos. And I think they've got Monday night football this week. Broncos country, let's ride. Train, thoughts on the game?
Maybe the worst primetime game of the season so far. That's saying something. Um, Bad game so far. We'll get to the game yesterday, but yeah, awful game. I would have taken the Colts had I had any money. Um, yeah. On the I'm doing bad on the season. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Mostly want to talk about the fact that it went into overtime and Russ pretty much blew it. KJ Hamler wide open in the end zone, and he didn't throw it to him. And then after the fact, after the game, he's still saying it. Broncos country, let's ride. And sometimes, I mean, I'd be upset as a fan, a Broncos fan. You're expecting a lot more.
Gnar, is the Russ experiment over?
I don't even think it started. Everybody thought this team was a quarterback away. You quote unquote got your quarterback, and you guys still suck. Can't score points. Your defense is there. They look great. Russ just isn't cooking. He's just riding. He's riding the wrong way right now. And he says, if I was a Broncos fan and I heard him say Broncos country, let's ride at the end of the press conference, I'd be so irritated. I'd want to cancel Russ. I'd want Geno. I'd want Drew Cock back maybe. I'd be tired of him. He'd be dead to me if I was a fan.
What does redemption look like for the Broncos? And as a fan, what would you need to see to get confidence back?
30 points a game.
More points for sure, especially against the Colts. Well, Colts don't have a bad defense, but Russ expected to get more than nine points in an overtime game. This game put the Colts ahead of the Broncos for a better record. That's crazy to me. Two and one.
No,
The Broncos are two
in a
and three.
tie
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still better, and
statistically.
yeah,
Tie's better
that's
than
just
a
crazy.
loss.
Still. If I were a Broncos fan, this is what I would need to see. And who knows? Who do the Broncos play Monday?
I have no idea.
Man,
They
that should be
play the Chargers.
okay. Chargers defense is kind of banged up. No, their whole team's kind of banged up. If I'm a
Both
Broncos fan and I see Russ throw for 270, two or three tubs in a 30-21 game, I think I'd be all the way back.
All
I'd be
the way
sucked
back?
back in all the way back. Yeah. If they see one good game from him, especially right now, which is like it feels like the turning point of the season, I think I'd be all the way back.
Another interesting game in London. Another marquee quarterback. Higher tier than Russell Wilson, even. Aaron Rodgers can't get it done against the Giants, of all teams. Train, is it panic mode on Aaron Rodgers yet? Or are the Giants just that good?
I don't think panic mode is the word for it. I think he threw it to Randall Cobb a lot. Old reliable. Maybe he's just not getting the trust. Maybe he's not trusting these wide receivers. I don't really know. I don't know what the problem is. Giants 4-1. Um, he Dayball turned he turned the Giants into a 4-1 team, regardless of how they win, where they win, and I guess when, especially when the teaser was the Giants and that was their only loss. Yeah, I love London games, dude. I love waking up, watching football, and usually it's a pretty good game so far. The last 2 weeks, so I love to see the Packers lose. So
Gnar, are you buying in on the Giants? And do the Packers seem like less of a threat now to your NFC Championship prediction with the Vikings?
I don't think I'm buying into the Giants. More so, selling on the Packers. I think it's time that we stop talking about them as a top 5 team. I think the power rankings just came out and they were still 4 or 5. I think that's ridiculous. This offense hasn't looked good in one game yet. And yeah, I mean, I don't think the Giants are a good team, but I'd call them a complete team. I mean, they have everything besides healthy wide receivers, and that's
everything. Big Danny Dimes guy.
Played better than Rodgers.
Fair enough.
Had just as many weapons as Rodgers.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I suppose. What's your take on Kenny Galladay then?
I think Stafford made him.
probably.
You don't think there's an ounce of talent in there?
There's an ounce.
All right. Speaking of talent not getting used, banged up Lions roster. Rough showing against the Patriots. Third string quarterback Bailey Zappi taking the Patriots to a 29-0 win. I said it last week. Could be Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe all over again with Mac Jones and Zappi. So we'll see what happens, but Lions defense hasn't been great this season. But I think fans expected more than 0 points this week from the offense, despite deficiencies in the roster. Train, Lions fan perspective, where are you at?
I've been trying to think about answering this question for a couple days now, and I don't understand. I don't understand how Goff can be leading the league in passing touchdowns, tied, I think, for leading the league, and then score 0 points. I mean, the Patriots, they're the Patriots. They're not going to be an easy team to beat ever. But I never expected this. I had the Lions teased to +9, and we scored 0 points. We're 1-4 going into the bye week. I'm not talking to any Patriots, by the way. We're 1-4 going into the bye week, and with the games that are coming up, it is who is coming up. We get the bye week, then Dallas. We're at Dallas, against Miami, Green Bay, at Chicago, playing a good Giants team, at the Giants, and then Buffalo for Thanksgiving. Gnar seems more optimistic about this stretch than I am. I think we'd be lucky with 1 win, and at that point, if that were to happen
Against the Bears.
What I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. But if we were to get 1 win, I think we'd be like
We'll get to Justin Fields, don't you worry.
2-10 at that point, and I think it's just a wash season from there. It's not an excuse; it's a fact. The Lions aren't healthy, so did that contribute? Yeah, a little bit, but we also played very bad. I turned it off, and I don't usually turn off the Lions, no matter how bad it is.
If this continues, is it C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or the field at 1-1?
Riding with Goff.
So the field or trade back?
Obviously, our offense isn't too. Well, I can't say that really after 0 points, but healthy offense, I'm still confident in Goff, at least from what he showed me in the first 4 games. And yeah, I think we just need to build more around him because I think he's young still. He's good. I think he's good.
Fair enough. So you think Inkem trade back maybe if you're up that high in the draft?
Well, we have the Rams pick as well as ours in the first round.
Looking better by the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, both teams not playing too great this season, so we'll probably have a couple good picks. Definitely the Lions, maybe the Rams. But I think trading draft picks we shouldn't be talking about right now. I think if we get a quick dub off the bye, then we're not talking draft anymore.
That's fair. All right. So you're not there yet where you're ready to talk draft. You're still like, we can turn this around. Would you be okay with like a 7-10 finish at this point?
Tough question. Yes, because it would hit my bet. Over 6.5.
Priorities, respect.
Priorities.
On to the Buccaneers Falcons. Falcons team that I was excited about last week. Still excited about. I think the Bucs still have a solid defense. And they made it a game. That being said, Tom Brady, 52 passing attempts, 350 yards, 1 tub. I can't really say I watched the game, but a lot of yards, fair enough completion percentage. Is there problems on the red zone?
I also didn't really watch this game, so I couldn't tell you much about that.
Bucks don't look that good. I mean, they were up 21-0. Offense not as good as what Tom Brady's offense on the Bucs has recently been doing. A little bit of injuries, but not really. Just one suspension for Mike Evans, and I might be frauds.
Tom looks tired. He looks exhausted.
He's up all night. He's up all night with legal battles.
What about the roughing the passer at the end of the game?
That was horseshit.
I mean, it's protect Tom Brady's season.
That was horrific. If any other quarterback in the league gets sacked like that,
well, it happened last night, Monday Night Football.
Technically, he landed on him.
Yeah, I suppose.
And that's part of the rule book. The guy wrapped him up, was falling to the ground, and threw Tom with him.
I just feel bad.
That's a sack.
I just feel bad for the D linemen, man. It's already tough enough for them to get sacks, and now it's like, all right, on top of that, better make sure when you get there, you're thinking about making sure. Sometimes you can only get to them one way. Sometimes it's over the top. Sometimes it's down low. I mean,
like it was the first 2 or 3 sacks yesterday where the group, like the entire line, just like huddled around the quarterback and hugged him.
That's how you
for
got to
like 5
get them
seconds.
out, pretty much. That's,
like, yeah, that's a sack.
Yeah,
I feel like as D lineman, if you get a sack that way, it's just so much less like hype. Like after you do it, you're like, oh, I barely even touched him. That's not fun.
Yeah, you don't get tackled most of the game. You should be able to get smacked in the backfield.
It's football.
Through.
If I were a D lineman, I'd be looking for blood and just blowing them up. And I feel bad for the guys.
You get the big paychecks. You get the guaranteed money. You know,
let me hit you.
Yeah, let the D linemen get their bag. Let them come through and give us exciting football. Those roughing the passer plays, like you see it go one way one game and a different way the other game. It's tough. It's hard to be consistent with it, different angles and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's frustrating. But I think Tom's on his way out. I think this is a fuck you, Adam Schefter season for Tom Brady.
It's looking like it.
I think he's doing this just to spite Shefty for trying to break Tom Brady's retirement. So I'm excited for the offseason to see that saga continue. Gnar will jump into the Steelers game. I mean, it's the Bills, but this isn't something the Steelers are used to dealing with, especially their fan base. Where you at? Big underdogs. Thought they really had the shot this week. Haven't been that big of underdogs in a long time. Where you at?
So, my first experience with the Steelers this Sunday, I was watching Red Zone because it wasn't on national television. And the first thing that comes on Red Zone after all the kickoffs is the Steelers have Josh Allen backed up at the 2-yard line, 3rd and 10. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, it's about to be a big play for the Steelers. and I see Minka Fitzpatrick, which, tell me if I'm wrong, the best ball hawk safety in the league, probably up there, top two. Okay,
Sure.
I'll take that. So 3rd and 10,
Ball hawk.
first play of the game, you have a rookie quarterback, and you blitz the best ball hawk in the league. And where does Josh Allen throw it? In the middle of the field, 98-yard touchdown. I mean, that was a bad call. I don't think anybody's job is safe in Pittsburgh at the moment, and I don't think it should be, other than Mike Tomlin, because I'll never turn my back on a guy. He's a good coach, and I'm not too quick to shut him down. However, Matt Canada, get him out. I don't know why he still has a job. Everybody blamed it on Big Ben. Okay, let's get Mitch, a younger quarterback. He showed he's had skill. He was winning with the Bears, which is no easy feat. And you don't change the offense at all. If you watch a full game, all you'll see is flat routes and then streaks down the edge of the sideline where the wide receiver has to make an insane catch just to get 15 yards. The middle of the field just – I don't know if Matt Canada thinks the middle of the field is also out of bounds, but that's what it looks like. You have Freiermuth, who's a beast. Shoot him up the seam and break the – every defense just parts like the Red Sea because they know where we're going. It's infuriating. I think the last 4 or 5 years with Ben have just been a cover-up, and I've slowly broken down and be like, this team can still do it. This team can still do it. No, they fucking can't. This team sucks. I'm done, and I'm ready to tank. Kenny Pickett looked good, though.
So
I will say that.
You answered one of my follow-up questions. I was going to say, is it draft pick season for you yet? But on top of that, where are you as a human being at with Najee Harris right now?
I think it'd be. Also, the Steelers gave me COVID from this past Sunday.
Are you still on the Najee train?
Yes. No. Okay. No. I think right now, perfect time to shop in for trades. Why not? There's a billion teams out there.
I'm trying. Shit. Like you mean? I thought you meant fantasy.
No, ship Najee.
I was like, I'm trying.
Off the Steelers. Get them out.
Running backs are a dime a dozen now.
Exactly. Jalen Warren he's been more productive than Najee. That's just the cold hard truth. Sorry, Najee. I wanted you to be good. I was so hyped when you were a draft pick, but maybe it's the O-line. Or it's definitely the offensive coordinator.
Maybe it's
Guy's terrible. I'd be okay if they traded Najee. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I'd be like, okay, we got another running back. They're not hard to find. They're just not.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy owners are upset. I'd imagine fans are upset. I don't know. Sometimes the running back just doesn't break out, and that's just the facts of life. See if the Bills will take a stab at him, maybe.
I'd be okay with that.
Running back, though, you're probably sitting at a 4th-round pick. But who's to say?
They have an undrafted free agent rookie who's looking amazing.
But that's what James
his run block
was 2 years ago.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Jalen Warren could be that dude. So I just want to give you the picks that I want for this year's draft.
Okay.
Here's the people I'm looking at. Will Anderson.
Of course.
TJ Watt, Will Anderson, Myles Murphy, Jalen Carter, and probably my favorite just because of the name, Keely Ringo.
So what, you got middle linebacker?
Go ahead.
Middle linebacker, 2 D tackles, and an outside backer?
Yes. And I want one of them. Don't care which one. Because the thing as a Steelers organization, like let's say they go 7-10. That at this point in the season, that's probably considered a win from where they are right now, right?
Yeah.
Picking up 6-6. I would much rather be the worst team in the league than go 7-10. There's no fun in going 7-10.
Yeah, you're not getting Will Anderson at 14.
The Steelers culture is an expectation is be in the playoffs, be competitive every game. We've showed we can't do that against some of the worst teams in the league and definitely the best team in the league. So I'm down to tank. Let Kenny cook. Defense sucks. Don't play TJ Watt another snap. Rest him up. I'm done.
Chargers Browns. Justin
Sorry.
Herbert gets it done. Hits for our teaser. Good thing we teased it.
Yeah, fuck you, Zach.
Chargers scrape it out. Win by 2. Austin Eckler looked great. Nick Chubb looked incredible. Herbert still is sore, injured, playing through it. I don't know. But yeah, they're looking solid. I don't have much on this game. I didn't watch a ton of it. Trained our thoughts. Any of it?
Big thing I took away from this was how awesome the running backs look. Nick Chubb has always been the most exciting pure running back that we've seen in the last 3-4 years. I've always liked him more, just to watch more personally than I've watched Derrick Henry. I think he's more fun. He looks more explosive. Derrick Henry's just a freak of nature and can use his body. But Nick Chubb's a smaller guy, but he's a thicker guy. He reminds me of who's that Jags guy, Bach?
Which
back
one?
in the day, like 2008 running
Fred
back.
Taylor?
No,
Maurice
Thornton.
Jones-Drew?
Yes,
MJ.
that's who he reminds me of. I love Maurice Jones-Drew back in the
We
day.
all love Maurice Jones-Drew.
He's dope.
He was so dope.
Every
Yeah, it's just
time,
like-
every time the Jags are playing and they're doing their picks, if everybody picks the other team, MJD always takes the Jags by 1.
It was just a running back game. They were back and forth, and
Which
kinda
is
showed out
rare.
against
Which is
each other.
rare these days.
I know it's kind of cool. I kind of wish I would have watched more of it, but I put something down here. The Chargers actually had more rushing yards than pass yards, not by much, but they did. And
238 though, that's incredible.
right, it is incredible, but I think it's just kind of shocking knowing Justin Herbert is that quarterback that got outran pretty much. And the Browns have been winning at the start, I think, of every fourth quarter this season, and they're 2-3. Eat shit, Browns fans.
I hate to do this to you, Train, but the Browns are just like doing the Browns things, and the Lions are just doing the Lions thing.
Yeah.
It's just their culture, their
well,
system.
you're at it. Jags are doing Jags things.
It's just proven over and over again that it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's wild.
Sorry.
If anything, it's shown consistency in the league. But Vikings beat the Bears. Close one. Gnar's still high on the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk started 15 for 15. Justin Jefferson proved again he's probably the best receiver in the league. Just needs to get some more touchdowns. That helped me out a little bit as a fantasy owner. Dalvin Cook looks healthy. It seems like that shoulder is not really an issue. Their defense needs to show up more than what they did against a very bad Bears offense.
You had the Vikings in our teaser, and then you took them back because you were nervous off of the London trip. But
mine
called
both
the
hit,
Kirk
so
Cousins
somebody should have
breakout.
took mine.
You said Kirk Cousins 1 p.m. Man, and he looked great. He looked like Kirk Cousins again, and that's what you want to see if you're a Vikings fan, because you can get it done with Case Keenum, you can get far enough with Kirk Cousins too.
And the craziest thing about this for me is I don't think the Vikings have played a complete game offensively or defensively. Definitely not offensively.
Defense is rough.
And they're a 4-1 team.
Yes, sir. Just like the Giants.
Okay, well, that makes it sound worse. I just think if they put it together, this team, they could definitely make some noise. They have the offensive firepower to make some noise.
Do you feel the
Especially
same
in
about
the
the
NFC?
Giants, though? I think the Giants
I
are
don't.
a Vikings prototype minus a Justin Jefferson, which is a lot.
And I think Kurt is a better quarterback than Danny Dimes.
It's close.
What if we thought of the Vikings as the 4-1 team that barely beat the Lions? Makes the Lions look a little better. The Eagles beat the Lions 5-0. We beat the Commanders, who is ranked
They're bad.
31st on ESPN's power rankings, right behind the Lions at 30th. And
Who's at 32? Texans?
Seahawks, who's
Seahawks.
32? Yeah.
What?
Panthers are 32.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
And we beat the Commanders.
I'm following this.
You know, maybe they're not that bad. Just kidding. I think the Vikings are gonna win this division. I think they're gonna win the division. I thought maybe it could happen at the beginning of the season. I think I had them 1 or 2 games back behind the Packers, and now I think it's just gonna be flip-flopped. And I think the Lions are still gonna I think we're gonna outwin the Bears. I think we're gonna get third, and I think it's gonna go Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
Yeah, I agree.
For Bears fans, Justin Fields threw over 200 yards this week, which normally you'd think, oh, I'd hope my quarterback throws for 200 yards. But for Justin Fields, that's pretty big this far.
Have a day.
I think his under or his over was at like 173.5 the other day, and people were like, "Oh, don't touch that." So 200, no picks, 15 completions on a good percentage. Begs the question of, can you blame the coach part 2? Are they not using him enough? I still stick with, I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
Well, don't know if you remember his collegiate days, but he's from Ohio State University.
Correct. I think there's a problem.
So he's not going to be a good professional quarterback. Just true.
I don't know what happens there, but there's something. I don't know if the offense that Ohio State runs like burns in the mind. I mean, the most successful Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL came in and played receiver. Isn't that Braxton Miller? Didn't he play receiver for a bit? I mean,
yeah,
maybe a couple of games.
I think he was running back as well.
Yeah, I mean, same with Gnar Robinson in Michigan. He was a good quarterback in college, but then he came in and he played running back for the Jags, and I don't know what it is they're doing there, but I don't think they produce pro quarterbacks. Just don't think the NFL offense runs like a Big Ten elite college offense. I don't know.
Well, Kirk Cousins.
I don't know, but speaking of elite offenses, Seahawks,
Tom Brady.
Saints, electric game. Geno Smith looks incredible. And if you played Taysom Hill in your tight end slot on a whim, you are a very happy fantasy owner this week. Saints, Seahawks, both bad, both maybe okay.
Both frisky. I think they compete with any team in the league. I don't think they'll ever beat like the upper echelon, but I also think they could lose to everybody in the NFL. They're just a weird team, but I think they'll always play their competition. Always.
Well, as I've said, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are very serviceable in fantasy football. I know at the beginning of the year, Comp had an auto draft for Tyler Lockett, and
so upset.
If he still has him, yeah, he was really upset.
He does.
Like he's got to be happy he still has him because Geno Smith is chucking the ball, and it's just falling in their hands. I saw a pass.
I don't think that's fair to Geno Smith, actually.
MVP.
Would you say he's just chucking the ball and it's falling into their hands?
He is.
3 tubs,
he's
no
chucking
picks.
it in a bread basket.
He's placing it in a bread basket.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay.
Chucking dimes.
He's not closing his eyes and chucking footballs.
I think it's
no
fair
picks?
to say he's chucking it when he's thrown it 45 yards in the air. I think that's fair. That's not a pass. That's a chuck.
16 completions
Chuck.
and almost 275 yards. But
Bombing it? Is bombing better for you, Vic?
Yeah.
Bombing it down the field?
He's bombing it.
Yeah.
All right. My bad.
It's okay.
MVP. Geno Smith.
Yeah.
We got Kenny from Michigan State. He's going to be seeing the ball a lot more. And I think on his first rush of the day, what was it, third or fourth quarter, he broke out and I don't know how far it was, but he scored.
69 yards. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was 69 exactly.
Are you liking Kenny off the waivers?
Yeah, I'd like to number one thank JV for dropping Kenny Walker. I believe this week. To
Yeah,
pick
it was.
someone up. I don't know. So thank you for that. Prayers up for Rashad Penny. I wish him the best. Take a nice long full recovery and get your surgery in. Number 3, it was a really crushing defeat this week. I went into Monday Night Football with an 11-point lead. I had Daniel Carlson. He had Devontae Adams. It went down to the wire. Carlson got me 16 points. I don't remember what Devontae got, but he got that last touchdown with like 4 minutes left, and I'm down by 0.9. And I'm like, I'm good. You kick the extra point, you win by 0.1, and we squeezed one out in a week. I wasn't expecting to win. I knew it was going to be tough, but Hammy's team played bad enough for me to potentially take advantage of it. And they go for 2, which I get. I like.
Wait, I forgot. What was the score after the touchdown?
It was 29-30. Extra point ties it, and the Chiefs get the ball back. You go for 2.
Oh, they went for the win.
They went for the win. 30 seconds left, maybe 4.5. Take the extra point. You got to get a stop anyways. But yeah, that was tough. But then the Raiders got the ball back, and it got so close to field goal range. And then that call got overturned on a Devontae Adams catch. But it still would have put me within the point where if he kicked a 40-plus yarder, I still won the game. So I needed that to be a catch, and it wasn't. And they turn it over on downs on 4th and 1. Tough week. But waking up in the morning and realizing that I fall to number 1 on the waiver order again, and everybody and their mom wants Kenneth Walker, and I've got number 1 on the waiver, and I'm getting Kenneth Walker. Gnar Snapchatted me at like 8:30 asking me to trade Kenneth Walker. Justin texted me at about 11 asking to trade for Kenneth Walker. Man hasn't even played yet. He had a great week last week. He's RB1 in Seattle. This is the turnaround point. I'm coming for Joe this week. I'm not going to lose. I'm digging out of my hole. I'm pulling for Justin. We got to get Noah in an elf costume. But first on a calendar. I think the Seahawks are decent. I think Geno Smith is good. I think they can have a solid season. And I don't think they'll be in the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud sweepstakes.
I agree.
Another team that surprised, Jets 40, Dolphins 17. Skylar Thompson had to come in because of another, I think it was a concussion to Teddy, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'll tell you exactly what happened from insider information. So, got hit on a safety. Didn't look too bad, but apparently he was wobbly, which I personally didn't notice. Like, all right, let's take him in the locker room, see if he passes a concussion test. Passes the concussion test quickly.
Yep, I'm following.
You're telling me Roger Goodell didn't call some random doctor and said, Miami's got to get punished. They need to lose this game. Don't let Teddy Bridgewater come back in again. Think about it.
Yeah,
maybe the Dolphins were just covering themselves. Yeah, like what if the same thing happens in Tua, or like Tua, what happened to Tua, and they're just like, oh, he definitely should have been out of the game, and then the Dolphins are getting all the heat again.
Okay, that's probably more likely than what my
insider
hypothesis was.
So is Tua that important to the Dolphins? Were we not giving Tua enough credit? Is that obvious now?
I wouldn't say that. I think Tua to Teddy is a small drop-off, but Tua to Skylar Thompson, which is unheard of, yeah, I think you're going to feel that loss for sure.
Breece Hall popped big for the Jets this week. Finally exploded onto the scene. 1 week wonder, or is this the Breece Hall we were waiting to see and we're seeing now?
I think he's going to ball out. Sorry, that was my cat.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Yeah, I think he's gonna ball out the rest of the. I mean, Dolphins defense can't be that bad. So he balled out, and Mostert also balled out. A lot of rushing yards this weekend. 113 yards for Mostert and a touchdown. I think he's kind of getting everything from Chase Edmonds. Is Edmonds hurt?
No,
No,
He's
it's
just not being used?
Mostert's the lead back.
I don't want to say anything, or I don't want to say that I fleeced Bart in a trade or anything like that. But I did trade him Chase Edmonds, and the following waiver week, I picked up Mostert off the waivers. But I didn't fleece him. I didn't.
Yeah, I picked Rachaad White up that week, who I still think is the good stash and go. I don't even remember who I got from you, but if they're in my starting rotation, I'm cool with the trade still.
It was a package
Oh, is it
that
Keenan
included
Allen?
Edmonds.
No, I need that man to come back. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even want Chase Edmonds in the first place. You threw him on at the end.
I think you gave me Jeff Wilson and Stevenson and Bateman for Edmonds, Keenan, and maybe one more.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's a 3-for-3 trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I just need Keenan to come back, and we'll see what happens from there. I need Christian Kirk to do better, but anyways,
Especially for touchdowns.
Commanders lose to the Titans. I won't talk much about it. I was rooting for the Commanders because I hate the Titans. I mean, Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry again, and Ryan Tannehill's playing Ryan Tannehill football. So it was a boring Titans game, and Carson Wentz all over the game and did what he does to make sure they couldn't win.
He had 360 yards.
Yeah, but like he's always good on the stat sheets, but then it's bad decisions in bad situations.
Yeah, I know.
He's not a put away guy.
I just realized he had 360 though.
I was just watching that game a lot. So another game I unfortunately watched a lot of. It was Jags Texans. It was tough. Trevor Lawrence didn't shine. The run game did. We stopped running it in the second half. It was frustrating. Christian Kirk wasn't targeted much. Trevor Lawrence was throwing high, making poor decisions, threw an interception in the end zone when he could have ran and scrambled for the first down. And I'm not ready to lose hope yet, despite all of that. For whatever reason, the Texans are always tough for the Jags, no matter the season. When we went to the AFC Championship with Saxonville and the Jackson 5, we started out 3-3. Same record in the division. So if we bounce back, win next week against the Colts again, I think that'll
Guaranteed
be really
win.
encouraging. I think Doug Marrone is slowly Doug Peterson. So sorry for that. I think he's figuring things out. I think the team's sticking together. I think they'll be more complete. Etienne looked good. Finally saw explosive big plays. As an owner, Gnar, I'd keep holding.
Oh yeah.
When he got his carries, he was finding holes and hitting them with burst, which was encouraging.
So, Bart, do you think as a fan this week they transfer from Robinson lead guy to Etienne? I know right now it's 50-50, but at the start of the season it was probably 70-30 Robinson. Is it more so the other side of that now?
It's tight still. They trust Robinson to hold on to the football. That's what it comes down to. If it's tight, it's going to be Robinson when it matters. Goal line, 3rd and short. But if they get up a touchdown even, and you're not so worried about a fumble that much, because he's still, Etienne's still an NFL running back. It's not like it's percentage points.
No.
If they get a lead, they're going to start giving Etienne more chances. Caught the ball out of the backfield, ran the ball. He looked explosive. It was good. He's making guys miss with his speed, which is encouraging. Frustrating to be the Texans' first win. And the Texans' loss looks rough on a stat sheet, and the Commanders' loss looks tough too. And it's the Texans, but the defense held them to 13 points. with a lot of time of possession. I understand it's still the Texans and it's 13 points, but they had the ball a lot. There was a lot of punting. So the defense is looking okay. I think a lot's going to go on this Colts game this week. I don't know what the line's at.
I think it was at 1.
I wouldn't touch it because we beat the Colts in Jacksonville, which is easy. Beating them in Indianapolis, not so much.
It is +2 for the Jags.
If the Jags win this week, they will win the AFC South. And they will go to the AFC Championship game in the playoffs.
Oh,
Wow.
If they win this week. If they don't win this week, my following statements will be based on Trevor Lawrence's individual play calling aside.
Oh, man.
Outside of that, 49ers top the Panthers. Panthers are looking rough. Is it anyone's fault besides Matt Rule? Is the coaching change going to do anything, or is it fire sale time?
I think it was a good game. 49ers are a good team. It wasn't a good game. I meant to say it was a 49ers. 49ers are a good team this year. Jeff Wilson stepping in. He's playing really well, especially as a backup to Eli Mitchell. And then Baker still sucks. 215 passing yards, 0 TD, and one pick. Christian McCaffrey obviously upset with the way the season's going. He's finally healthy. He's playing games, and they're 1-4, and they just fired their coach. Rumors about the Bills Mafia snatching him up.
Bills
I
denied
think
it.
Yeah, they denied it. That's what I was about to say. But I think in the last few pods we've talked about DJ Moore either bad or Baker's bad, and I think Baker's bad.
So the poor guy just still can't find a quarterback?
I think I saw something where Baker has been on the team of like 3 fired coaches or something in like the first however many years.
I believe that's accurate, yeah.
He's a coach killer.
He's a coach killer. And
he might also be a wide receiver killer. He's had good wide receivers.
What do you guys think about DJ?
He's good.
Well, I mean, obviously I traded him after
he's wasting the prime of his career.
That's frustrated. I think it's going to be hard to move a receiver with a $20 million cap hit.
Yeah.
We just gave him
I feel bad for DJ.
Yeah.
I feel bad for DJ. I feel bad for CMC.
CMC had 12 targets. How? I mean, it's CMC. That's how you use them.
CMC's fine.
No. That's what I mean. Like Baker's got to he's got to do more than what he does. I think if the Panthers want to win some games. I'll take it for my fantasy team every day. I don't care. But if they want to actually play, they got to. I don't know. Baker sucks.
Cowboys beat the Rams. Another Cooper Rush W. A little bit more pressure put on Dak. He's got the money. Cooper's got the wins. Rams looking ugly. Stafford not looking great. And Allen Robinson still not getting targets. As a proud owner of the Rams' first-round draft pick, do you think this is going to continue train, or are the Rams going to turn it around?
I have to think they'll turn it around, but not looking great. 2-3. I think Stafford's hurt. I think you get a better game, or you get better games out of Stafford fully healthy. And he's the guy that to play through injury and just kind of play until he definitely cannot play anymore. And I think we'll see that in a few weeks where this injury that we haven't heard of yet. It's always something new with Stafford. Injury comes out and he'll take like 2 or 3 weeks, or like maybe 2 weeks off at the most, and he'll come back and then he'll start slinging the ball. I think it's between then, right now and then. So maybe 5 weeks in the future, if they can really step it up, I think in about 5 weeks they'll actually start winning games and start running with this. Stafford, another. What's going on? Bless you.
Thank you.
Cooper Kupp 10 targets, Higbee 10 targets, and
What are you talking
Skowronek
about? What's
8
going on?
targets. I don't want to talk about it. Gnar?
I'm not saying anything.
Wait, what's going on?
I'm a Higbee owner, so I like it.
Look at all those targets, Park.
What's the question?
There's no question. It's an observation.
Eagles squeak out against the Cards. Remain undefeated. I don't know about Kyler Murray. I've been saying it for years. Eagles might look good, though. And it might not be an awful loss for the Cardinals, but 2-3 nonetheless. Ravens squeak out a close one against the Bengals. Lamar looking Lamar-ish. Joe Burrow not looking as Joe Burrow-ish, but a little bit. Rough game offensively for both teams. Not much else on that one. And then we had Raiders-Chiefs on Monday Night Football, which I pretty much gave you the whole second half breakdown with my heart attack going on in the background. But it was fun to see Kelsey catch 4 touchdowns. Whether you had him on fantasy or played against him, it's good to have storylines like that every once in a while. So I thought it was fun. Was it like 7 catches for 25 yards and 4 tubs?
Yeah. Exactly what it was.
Yeah. I know weekend of college football, Michigan. Cole, I'll let you talk about this one because you had some tight money on this game.
Yeah, I put some money on Michigan. I think the line was at 22.5 before the game. I didn't like that number, so I put 2 units on alt spread 20.5, and they covered 21. I also like Blake Corum a lot. I love watching him get the ball, and I put 2 units on him getting over 121.5 rushing yards, and he ended with 124 off of like one last rush. It was nail biter, dude. Mike Hart goes down, but I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Seizure confirmed.
I saw something. I think it was on Twitter. He said he's good and he's trying to make a recovery, get back with the team as soon as he can. But obviously, health comes first. JJ threw his first pick, Bach.
Yeah, it happens. Might as well get it out of the system early before you're in a big game and still tweaking about it. So it's out of the way. It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Alabama almost loses, holds them off on questionable A&M play calling. And big weekend of college football. Ferris versus GV, number 1 and 2 in D2. Should be a great game. We'll give you updates on that on Tuesday and via Twitter as well. Penn State at Michigan should be another solid game. Normally is. Big new maze out, little confusing. Why not do it at night? Looks better in the dark. But nonetheless, bring the atmosphere. Alabama, Tennessee, solid matchup. And USC, Utah. USC's fun to watch, and they look good so far. Baseball's been trucking along. Guardians advance. Mariners advance. Phillies advance. And the Padres take down the Mets, which is awesome. First team ever to have more than 100 wins and not make it past the wild card round.
Really?
Yeah. We love it for the Mets.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Like
normally you get 100 wins, you win the division and get a bye week. But Braves won the division, so. Mariners, Astros. Astros just walked it off today in Game 1. Guardian, Yankees, unsure of the score. Braves lost a heartbreaker to the Phillies in Game 1, 7-6, despite a 3-run home run from Olsen in the ninth. Padres-Dodgers should be another good series. I think the Dodgers win it easily, and I think the Braves are toast against the Phillies now. But I hope
Already?
I regret. It's bad. It's best of 5, and they lost Game 1, and they didn't look great. So I lost my confidence. I think the Phillies are hot. I hope I come on here and apologize on Tuesday, but I'm going to stick to it. Draymond socked Poole in the face at practice.
What a transition there.
I don't know how the video got leaked. They're trying to figure it out. There's rumors everywhere. NBA is coming up as well. We're hitting a good season of sports.
Was the punch? If you get pushed, are you automatically punching?
Me personally,
There's more.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, that's all. Me personally, no.
There's definitely more to the story than what's on that 10-second clip of a video. Something happened when they were running scrim or whatever it could have been. I don't think what he did was right, but I don't think they're telling the full story. He's definitely in the wrong. He shouldn't have done it, but that's what people who play for the University of Michigan deserve. For being honest.
I was gonna say, do you think it's a little Michigan State?
Has to be. There has to be. There has to be.
In the end, you don't punch your teammate at practice, but
agreed.
There was probably shit that was being said that didn't need to be said. I mean, he was probably asking for it, and it's a bitch move to do that under the guise of, what is he going to do, hit me at practice? Yeah, it's probably not going to work out well for Draymond. It was probably well-deserved. Maybe not. So, I don't know. Into the end here. On the year so far, boys, we're 1-3 with our teasers. Our 3-team Sunday teasers. Or weekend NFL teasers. 4-5 on prop bets or anytime touchdown scores. And then our new segment, which isn't every week, it isn't every month. It's our Money in the Bank. You got a lockdown pick. That's your Money in the Bank pick. You don't force it. You don't even just feel it. You feel it. You study it. You know it. That's your Money in the Bank. We're starting the counter at 0-0. I don't have one. I'm just introducing it now.
It can be anything?
It could be anything. You find that lock, it's right here, right now. It's Money in the Bank. We'll also tweet it live. But yeah, what are we liking this week? Let's tease it up.
Gnar's probably been studying.
My teaser for this week. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
To 14.5 points.
Against the Bucks. At home, though. You're at home.
At home. Team's down bad. You know Mike Tomlin's doing the shit out of them. Tom Brady's old as shit. He's sad. He's going through a divorce. Even if they lose by 14, I'm still not going to be happy. But 14's a lot of points after you get your shit pumped by the Buffalo Bills. I just don't see him getting absolutely demolished again. I see them keeping it to a 2-score game. I do. And that's what I'm going off of. I don't think they win this game.
Kenny goes crazy?
Yeah, I mean, he looked good. He's put in a shitty spot. You're down 7-0. Should have been 10-0, but luckily they got a block or a missed field goal, whatever it was. The best defense in the league, and he threw for over 300 yards. I'd say that's a pretty good start to a young man's career.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so. I mean, other than the 3 picks, it just statistically it doesn't look good, but I think he looks good.
Yes. And he was quoted saying after the game, he's like, I thought the game was going to move a little too fast for me today, but I was pretty comfortable with everything. Against the number 1 defense in the league.
You love to hear it.
And now he's got one under his belt, and he just got his shit pumped. He's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry.
Trent, what do you got?
Train has got I'm between two right now. So if you have one of these, I'll just pick the other one, Bark. But I really like them both. I like Rams, and I like the Seahawks.
Okay, neither of those were mine.
What do you guys like more? I'm kind of leaning Seahawks because of a bounce
You like
back.
the Rams minus 16.5?
It would go the other way. It would go -4.
Yes.
Uh, but I think the Seahawks at home, Kyler maybe into Overwatch 2. I don't know.
He might be a big Overwatch face clan, dude. I mean,
he just hasn't looked good.
I personally like the Rams more.
You like the Rams more?
Yeah. Yep.
Bart, you feeling the Rams too, or no?
I'm feeling what the squad's feeling.
By 4.5, yes.
Because I might be leaning a little.
Hey, it's your call.
It's your pick, man. It's your pick.
I know. I'm so split down the two of them. Seahawks.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going with the boys, the New York G-Men. I'm going to take the Giants.
Wow.
All right. That has not worked in the past. Let me say that.
Give me 11 points. Give me Danny Dimes at home. I don't know. I don't think the Raiders defense is what it's supposed to be, and I don't think the Giants defense is getting enough credit. So give me the G-Men. I think -5 is a lot, or +5 is a lot. I think +11's even better.
Agree.
With that being said, props. Anytime touchdown scores.
Ooh, let's do it. Gnar? Or you thinking still?
Thinking.
Nice. I've got...
You want value or you want a lock?
Give me Jeff Wilson Jr.
Great pick.
I got Jay Jettas. If you're feeling real crazy, bet him 2+.
Oh.
No reason not fix what's not broken. So playoff Lenny promises touchdowns, and he's delivered touchdowns. He won it for me last week. Let's do it again. Give me playoff Lenny against an awful Pittsburgh rush defense, by the way.
Bet responsibly. Sprinkle the Jettas 2+ touchdowns if you're interested.
Bark, I have my lock. Or the new
You've
segment.
got money in the bank right now.
I've got money in the bank.
You're starting it off week 1 of it, huh?
Oh.
This is obvious.
Once a month?
No,
You're thinking, Bark?
It doesn't matter.
I think it's whenever you feel it.
How many units would you play on Money in the Bank?
3? Is that fair? 3?
I think when we build, if you're giving me a bet, that better be a 3-unit bet.
3+ unit, yeah.
Bengals -2. I think they win that game easily, so they just can't win it by 1 point or less, or 2 points or less. I think that's easy.
In Narlands?
Yes.
I gotta tweet it out live.
Bark,
so
I
that
have a
don't
question
forget.
for you.
Bark,
I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'm
Where
listening.
did Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase play in college? What state? Just what state?
The state of Louisiana.
Do you remember where the national championship game was that year?
I don't, but if I had to guess, I'd guess Louisiana. New Orleans, even if I was getting specific.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow,
you're
a genius, Bach. All right,
I
Bark.
think that's money in the bank. Bengals -2.
Bark is
I'm live tweeting right now.
He's tweeting Gnar's Money in the Bank play this week. Gnar has to put 3 units on it, or
I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now.
I think it's a great idea, Bark. I think we'll give you guys plays every week with the teasers.
Responsibly.
And then the touchdown scores. But I think throwing out there like anything, like I might throw out like odds or evens on what the game's going to end up as. Like maybe that's my money in the bank. I don't know. I love that it can be anything.
It can be anything. You better love it though. If I see a number that's not zero in that loss column, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Now it's a lot of pressure on the Bengals.
It is. It
a
is
lot
a
of
lot
pressure
of pressure.
On the Bengals. I still feel great about it though.
Yeah, I mean it should be solid. It'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Any closing thoughts?
No, other than Pittsburgh fire Met Canada.
Go
thankfully,
Jags.
we don't have to watch the Lions lose this week.
It's a great point.
Take it off. Focus on the Ferris game and then recovery Sunday. That's all we got this week. Until next week, that's what we got for you. Juck Sports Pod, Episode 6. Fist it, babies.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.